Wemby wasn't the only one dropping 50 last night. Giannis had 59. And a lot of players had great games last night. They had generational performances. And it just kind of shows the level of talent that has just infiltrated the league, quite frankly. And I think the league as a whole is more talented than it has ever been. And on the star end, your top 5 to 10-ish players, I don't think that they're significantly more talented than the guys of the past. You can watch film sometimes of a player from past generations and say, oh, this guy had no bag. But I think Magic Johnson is a good example. You could argue that he looked stiff when he was dribbling the ball, but that was also a result of the rules in place at the time. Because they were a lot less lenient on travels and stuff back then, and didn't allow for as much free movement on the dribble. So that's why Magic Johnson kind of looked stiff dribbling the ball. So I don't want to use it to discredit stars of other eras. I think they're just as talented as the players of today. However, when you start going to the third and fourth options and the rest of the team, that is where the talent really shows, and where it's much better than the rest of the league has been in NBA history. You put D'Angelo Russell in the 90s or something, they would think that he's a top point guard in the league. Dennis Schroeder, a French starter to bench point guard, he's great for Germany. He hasn't quite had the same success in the NBA. It's the same thing. He would be a great point guard back in the day, just because I believe that he has a lot more talent. And he just doesn't get the opportunity to really show that, because everyone in the NBA right now has so much talent. And you can see with Malachi Flynn dropping 50, that's not just a result of defense. There's the argument that defenses are worse, and there can be some truth to that. But in general, the main point why offenses are scoring more and more often now is that defense can still be good, but the offense has gotten even better. And you see players like Malachi Flynn dropping 50, KPJ dropping 50, and 10 assists a couple years ago. And I do firmly believe that some role players today, some eighth men in the rotation, they could absolutely be starters in another NBA era. The league as a whole just has gotten a lot better, and highlight tapes can say a lot. They can say a lot that's kind of misleading. And I don't want to say that the athletic prowess of today's players is necessarily that much greater, because if you look at combine drills, such as the vertical, the court sprint, all of those, athletes have not gotten significantly better in the NBA compared to past eras. However, what they have gotten better at is the opportunity to utilize that talent on the court. And that's where their talent is really showing, because you've got to have the confidence that goes with it. And they've got all the confidence in the world, and they're able to utilize their talents more effectively than players of years past. And just with all the training that they get to have, the NBA is more talented than ever, and that's only a good thing for the league. That is not a discredit to players of years past. That is not an argument that this is the best version of the NBA that we have ever seen. It is just a compliment to today's players and their abilities.